All right, fam, settle in, find your spot, and turn the volume up, guys. This is Elite Footy Talks International Edition, and I'm your boy, MarkN. You know what it is, Trini Hard Globalized. Yes, tonight we stand at the edge of something big, of course, guys. Going forward, there's a lot to see. And on November 14th, under our own roof, we host Jamaica. And guys, as I can tell you, 6 points remain, two home games. The dream's still alive, guys, but it's razor thin. And of course, we are going to need a lot. They beat us 2-0 in Kingston already. We drew 1-1 with Curacao. So make no mistake, we are under the pressure, and it's a big one. Champions are born, and this is where the pressure cooker takes place tonight. Today, I mean, we will break it all down, how the squad is different, who are the newcomers unlocked by the grandfather law coming in. How does Dwight York lead this team into their arguably toughest situation yet? It's going to be very interesting, guys. And of course, we will peek across Europe and see what's happening across Africa. We will discuss these things. But most importantly, I found you guys a name on the list. He has been, flagged globally and is now seeking and hoping to get himself into the Trinidad national team. And we will be talking more about Rory McKenzie of Kilmarnock FC. Of course, he's not the youngest guy, but he's an experienced guy. And Rory McKenzie, let me tell you something about this guy. We will get into the information about him, but he looks to be a decent player, can play in the midfield, can play off the right wing, so it will be interesting. We will discuss that. But we cannot ignore the fact that Jamaica is strong and organized to the state and used to the state. They have come a long way, but they have to come home to Trinidad and Tobago. And today we will analyze some little points that might benefit Trinidad and Tobago in this fight. Now, going on, guys, it's going to be a shock one. And of course, we have more to do and more to see. But let's get into some of the points and the key information. Yeah, let's bring Rory to the stage. Let's begin with Rory because everybody wants to know. So I'm gonna just drop some information that I got from Rory. You can see it on the screen right there. If you're unable to read that because it's not too legible, I'll run it on a ticker. He's a Scottish professional footballer born the 7th of October 1993 in Irvine, Scotland. He has spent essentially his entire senior career at Kilmarnock FC in Scotland, one club man in many respects, Kilmarnock FC. His primary position is on the right wing. Interesting guy. You know what I mean? He can also operate on the left wing or as a secondary striker, attacking midfielder, and of course, he's about 1.75 meters tall, equal 5'9". He's right-footed, and of course, he has represented Scotland at youth levels, under 19, under 21, but not the senior national team. So this makes this guy an easy picking for Trinidad and Tobago. Now, will he be someone that comes in? Of course, he is eyeing a Trinidad and Tobago passport. He is eyeing the opportunity to play for Trinidad and Tobago. He has made it public that this is his stance. So it's one of those things where we will be looking at if he's going to be giving a chance in the team. And who knows? Maybe that just might be the experience we need to settle down the front line. Maybe we play him on the right next to Levi and have them swap during the game. Because if this guy can play a secondary striking role, guys, it gets very interesting. Because now we can put Levi in his most preferred position as the right winger in large portions of the game. He won't have to be the guy furthest forward. We could leave that to Rory. With his experience and his attacking quality, I think he will definitely be able to do the job. Hold the play up, give Levi his opening to run free down the flank, and then Levi could cut in and he can cut outside onto the flank. We create now a dynamic attack for Trinidad and Tobago going forward, and it will be something that I think will be unexpected and an addition that might be very interesting. While a lot of people might look at it and say, you know what, this guy is 32 years old, maybe he's not that guy. But I'm saying to you all right now, a little bit of experience with good quality and at the level where we need it to be is something that could always be a plus to Trinidad and Tobago going forward. And of course, this is just one of many names on the list, but one of those who has, openly declared his stance. One of the reasons cited that he hasn't played because he has always been hoping to represent Trinidad and Tobago. This guy, Hayden Pro. This guy is a guy who is, possibly he has a grandparent that's from Trinidad and Tobago, and he would love to represent the country to play for the national team and might be an addition. He's a second striker, a winger by trade. He can play on the right, play on the left. He plays for Kilmarnock FC in Scotland. It's been a one-man club. He's represented Scotland at youth level, under 19 and under 21, but not the senior level. So it's one of those things, Hayden, that I think it might be interesting to see what this guy has to offer Trinidad and Tobago. It will be interesting to see if he could come in and do a job. Yeah, apparently he's a Soca Warrior. His grandparent is original Trini. You know what I mean? So he doesn't he mightn't look to normal people like he has the soca, but we have boys like these guys. I went to school with guys like this who look like that, but they got the soca. There was one guy I know, we used to call him the local David Beckham back in school days when he played in the SSFL or the Intercol League, if you know what I mean. A lot of people know I'm talking about. He went to St. Anthony's. Interesting guy, very nice guy. You know what I mean? Could move the ball, a lot of dead ball set pieces, very good at that. But injuries was one of those things that took him and shortened his career. You know? So it's one of those things, my bro. But yeah, I'm just coming in to bring some information about this guy because everyone's looking to see what does Trinidad have to offer. Who are the names on the list? Who are the people that might be possibly looking to sign? And I'm just here saying this is one name. There's many more to come. And we have to keep an open mind and we can't just snub at certain talents because guess what? We need all the help we can get. When you listen to the latest reports that Mason Greenwood has officially received his Jamaican passport and is set to join the Jamaican squad in November, it brings a certain sense of urgency to me as a Trinidadian fan and a Manchester United fan at that, because I know what this youngster brings. He's a generational talent, so it's going to make a difficult game even more difficult. And having an experienced attacker in a situation where Trinidad is struggling to score the goals for the multitude of chances that we are creating, maybe this guy could be that difference. A little bit of experience to just take us over the line. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro, that Greenwood power is gonna be a mad one. But you know what I mean? In this moment, I would wish I could move heaven and earth, bro, and slap a few cents of newness into Jaden Sancho and get him into the Trinidad squad because I mean, maybe we might have something to compete there out and out. Someone comparable in a certain sense of the word, not really in the sense of generational talent, if you know what I mean. Because I would say Greenwood was a touch above, but it is what it is. We still have a chance, and of course, it's gonna be high heat and humidity. And of course, he has done well in Spain, but being in Trinidad and Tobago under that certain heat that's going to be coming in November with the humidity, it could be difficult. It could prove difficult. It could prove an asset for the Soca Warriors, and I have to say that because when I think about it, it's going to be very much more difficult if he joins the squad. But what I would say, guys, is it could get even more interesting as we go along because there are more names adding to the list. Of course, more and more players issuing or notifying of their availability as the grandfather law has been, opened up. And make no mistake, guys. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that, it's going to be easy. But what I can tell you is that with this situation, the fact that Trinidad and Tobago need 6 points, two massive home wins to stay in this World Cup qualification competition and possibly get ourselves there. We face Jamaica at home first. That's the final showdown between the Reggae Boys and the Soca Warriors. Who is going to reign supreme? Is it going to be the Reggae, or it's gonna be Soca Power? And you know what I mean? As a Trini, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Soca Power, but let's see. There's gonna be a lot of new dual nationals coming into the squad, guys, and of course, we are gonna be looking forward to what they can bring and improve Trinidad and Tobago. And like I am saying to you, the match day focus. TNT versus Jamaica. This is where it is. For the next couple of weeks, this is where the focus is. This is where we are at. And guys, we have some silver linings. Tyrese Spicer lit it up versus Curacao. Can he carry that spark versus Jamaica? He didn't. He also did well versus Jamaica, but we need more. Can we expect another level of performance? I would say for the Speedy Saint, it's certainly a huge possibility that he will come back hungrier and even faster, because I can see his frustration. And what I can tell you is that this guy, he has worked hard to get to where he is, and hopefully he will be getting himself to the Premier League, or maybe Europe, maybe La Liga, or maybe the German league pretty soon. I tell all the clubs, look for this guy because he could be an answer on the cheap, if you know what I mean. But let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? Now, the interesting situation now comes into play with this grandfather law, because it's certainly exciting to have, and certainly it's going to be a boost. But how does Dwight York really make this work? And that is the question, guys, because really and truly, we can get some of the best talent coming into the team, but how do we integrate them? How? How do we integrate them into this team to really make make it a boost, make it work, make it count? Because I mean, other teams have been doing this for a long time. Jamaica, for one, has been suffering on the end, where it's sometimes an argument between, how do they balance homegrown talent versus the foreign talent, and does the foreign talent really give 1,000%? Will they really go out and give blood, sweat, tears? And I would say that it's something to think about. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's going to be one of those things where we have to see and have to hope that they come with the same sort of vibe and energy and hunger that we expect from our homegrown boys. They want to be here at the end of the day, in my honest opinion. So if they want to be here, guys, then obviously they should be given that same 100%. They all would want to play on a World Cup stage. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, are they going to do their best? Of course, they want to get to the World Cup. There's no footballer alive who doesn't have a dream of playing at the World Cup. So however you get there, you get there. But you need to get there. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be one of those situations where it's an uphill battle according to the historical viewpoints. It's long, guys. It's really long. And well, I'll just put this up there and put this so you guys could see it. This is why the Jamaicans are so confident. This is why they all think Trinidadians are delusional. This is why they already celebrating like they already have a foot into the World Cup door, because they've never lost to TNT in a World Cup qualifying competition. They've have 3 wins and 1 draw in the 4 times we've met previously. History's on their side, but we are writing a new chapter. Yeah, the grandfather law is new. The team is new. Dwight York as head coach is new. The new style of Trinidad football is interesting to look at. It gets you off your seat. It gets you excited. It makes you feel like we can do something finally, and we want more. And CONCACAF, I mean, it's if you want to check out more, if you want to see it, be here live on November 14th. We're gonna be here, and of course, every day between now and then, I'm gonna be doing my best to get more and more information to supply you all with updates on new players making themselves available for Trinidad and Tobago, new players being flagged by Transfer Market, new players being flagged by the TTFA as potential suitors. You know, what is happening? What is their progress? Get it all here. Don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe, guys. You know, you're going to get some of the best information here in the next coming weeks because guess what? I don't think anyone knew about this guy. You're going to get it first and you're going to get it here and you're going to get it accurate. Now, what I'm telling you is all these players, that the information that I'm bringing to you, they are flagged. They are officially recognized as being available for Trinidad and Tobago. However, if Dwight York includes them in the squad, that's up to the manager selection. But I can tell you now, these are all players based on the new laws. They are making themselves available for Trinidad and Tobago selection. So in the end, it will be that. Of course, there's going to be some Man United news. Today is going to be a big day and a long day. I'm going to be live again in about 5 to 10 minutes. So those of you who want the Man United news, come join me on MarkN MEFC fan channel. But right now we're dealing with the Soca Warriors, so I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I still hope you can smash the like and subscribe because you know what? I know deep down inside you have that national pride and you love your national football just the same when it's the World Cup, and this is the road to the World Cup. So come along for the ride, join the family. Let us have some fun as we talk about all the different crazy things that could happen. And can you imagine Trinidad versus Nigeria for the final World Cup playoff spot? I mean, Aussie, man, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. But I think Trinidad can take them. I think Trinidad can take the Super Eagles. I think the Soca Warriors will have too much soca for the Eagles. You know what I mean? Not all the time you can fly in the sky. Sometimes you have to get down to earth. And when you're kicking a ball, there's no wings there. So, as it stands, guys, this is the group date update. Jamaica 9 points, Curacao 8 points, TNT on 5 points. Hope is still alive. There's 6 points on offer that it can change dramatically. A draw between Curacao and Jamaica could be what TNT needs most. Will it happen? Of course, no one knows. Of course, if Bermuda could somehow upset Curacao on November 14th as well, we would love to see it happen. Of course, Jamaica would also be hoping for that because then it will put them in an even more unfavorable position. So we all, not just Trinidad and Tobago, but Jamaica also needs Curacao to lose or draw versus Bermuda. And it's going to be a very much defining night. And of course, guys, 2 games, 6 points, one dream, two islands. You know what it is. Come get some, guys. And you know what? We're going to make that home advantage count. We're going to do all we can. And I'm pretty sure, guys, that Dwight York is going to come with a surprise for not only for Jamaica, but for Bermuda as well, because that's the final game. And if we could secure 6 points, I think from strength to strength, Trinidad and Tobago will certainly be much more prepared going into this playoffs than we were when we were at the Unity Cup. I'm pretty sure there are many, many footballing fans out there that watch Trinidad and Tobago Soca Warriors at the Unity Cup and watch them in these final qualifiers and could not believe their eyes. They could not believe the improvement made by this Trinidad and Tobago national team, the performances. Of course, some people might be throwing shade, like there are lots of fans like to throw shades on Trinidad and Tobago that said that would say they don't know their historical facts of the Caribbean qualifying, so they would think that no one expects Trinidad to win, no one expects Trinidad to qualify, I even heard a content creator saying, when you look at the group, everyone expects Jamaica and Curacao. No one's hoping for Trinidad to get out of the group. Since when has Curacao ever been a footballing powerhouse in the Caribbean? These new age content creators, guys, they're infiltrating CONCACAF and they're talking all these nice things, but they really don't know their history or facts because they've never watched the football that long. So I don't know, man. I hate to criticize these guys, but when they throw shade on Trinidad and Tobago, I'm gonna come for them. And I'm gonna show them how wrong they are. Because, it's one thing to throw shade and banter, but it's another thing to just give a genuine opinion. And some guys need to learn that. Shout out to Hayden Pro. Awesome man will delivery broken hearts. Doubt that, bro. You want to know? I can tell you for free. It's like it's unheard of for anyone to say that a Nigerian is better in the air than a Caribbean footballer. It's unheard of. Yeah. Osimhen might be that unique talent that is really up there. We can't say no because there's gonna be those guys at the very top from everywhere in the world. They're gonna be at that level that anyone would dream to be at. But collectively as a team, I can guarantee you, Caribbean teams are as strong as English teams in the air. And that's stronger than traditional African teams in the air, bro. So you might disagree, but I'm telling you, if that's what you think where your goal's gonna come from, it's gonna be very long for Nigeria, bro. And their defense isn't that strong. It's been very shaky. And I think Trinidad's midfield is stronger than Nigeria's. So if it's gonna be based on both attacks, I still think we can outscore you based on our current performances. But I might be just talking really big. But I'm telling you now, Broski, have you never seen, bro? Go back and watch it, bro. I have never seen a Caribbean player in the Premier League or in European League that was not strong in the air, bro. Tell me where I lie. But I can tell you many, many, many African players who were top talents that weren't. That's facts for you, bro. Heritage football. But guys, it's all in the fun. Of course, we're gonna be certainly doing the covering the watch alongs and the playoffs. You're gonna get all the games here live very soon. You're gonna get all the Nigeria games, friendlies, and whatnot. Same with Ghana. Same with Cap Verde. Of course, my brethren Bali Tech will be doing some Cap Verde streams coming up as he supports his team to the World Cup. Of course, it's going to get more interesting as we have some fans coming in from other nations, which will be doing their watch alongs as well. And you will be seeing that more as it comes. And guys, it will get very interesting. The last round of qualifiers will be upon us very shortly. 2 weeks will go by in a blink. And of course, we get ready to face the final music. And when the fat lady sings, let's just hope the Soca Warriors are partying en route to Road Cup 26. Guys, hope you have a wonderful day. Join me for some Man United information and news and updates as we also break down some things about Man United. Shout out to you. Have a great day. I'll catch you later. Your boy MarkN. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join the Road Cup dream because everyone loves the World Cup.
Baby.